So today we will discuss the chemical properties of nonmetals. In last lecture we have discussed about the chemical properties of metals. Today we will discuss the chemical properties of nonmetals. So first property of nonmetals is reaction of nonmetals with oxygen. When nonmetals react with oxygen, they form the respective oxides. So when nonmetals react with oxygen, they form non-metallic oxides. Okay? And the nature of non-metallic oxide is either acidic or neutral. So let us see some examples of reaction of nonmetals with oxygen. So when the carbon is burned in an insufficient supply of air, it forms carbon monoxide, which is a toxic substance. When carbon react with oxygen, it forms carbon monoxide. When sulfur react with oxygen, it gives sulfur dioxide. When hydrogen react with oxygen, it gives water, which is a neutral. So non-metallic oxides are either acidic in nature or neutral in nature. Generally, non-metal oxides are acidic in nature and they turns blue litmus to red. If we dissolve the oxides of non-metals in water, then the respective acid is formed. For example, carbon dioxide gives carbonic acid when dissolved in water. So you can see that CO2 when reacts with water, it gives carbonic acid, that is H2CO3. Sulfur dioxide gives sulfurous acid when dissolved in water. You can see that SO2 when reacts with water, it gives H2SO3. Sulfur dioxide gives sulfuric acid when react with oxygen. So first sulfur dioxide react with oxygen and form sulfur trioxide. Then sulfur trioxide react with water and gives sulfuric acid. Next property, reaction of nonmetals with chlorine. So nonmetals gives respective chloride when they react with chlorine gas. So nonmetal when react with chlorine, they form nonmetal chloride. For example, hydrogen when react with chlorine, it form hydrochloric acid, which is a chloride of hydrogen, HCl. When phosphorus react with chlorine, it form phosphorus trichloride, PCl3. So this is the reaction of nonmetals with chlorine. Some more properties: nonmetals don't react with dilute acids. Nonmetals don't react with water or steam to evolve hydrogen gas. Now we will discuss the next chemical properties of nonmetals, which is the reaction of nonmetals with hydrogen. So nonmetals react with hydrogen to form covalent hydrides. So you can see nonmetals when react with hydrogen, they form covalent hydride. Let us see some examples, like when sulfur combine with hydrogen, it form hydrogen sulfide. So you can see sulfur combines with hydrogen to form a covalent hydride, which is called hydrogen sulfide. H2S. When nitrogen combines with hydrogen in the presence of an iron catalyst to form covalent hydride ammonia. So N2 nitrogen react with hydrogen and it form NH3, which is ammonia. Non-metals don't react with water or steam to evolve hydrogen gas. We have seen metals react with water and form and evolve hydrogen gas, but non-metals does not react with water or steam to evolve hydrogen gas. Next property, reaction of metal and non-metal. So what is the reaction when non-metal react with metals? So many metals form ionic bonds when they react with non-metals. Metals and non-metals react together and form salts, which is an ionic compound. So when metals react with non-metals, they form salts, which is an ionic compound. So let us see some examples. Sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, which are metals, when react with chlorine, which is non-metal, they form metal chlorides. You can see Na react with chlorine and gives sodium chloride, NaCl. Calcium react with chlorine and gives calcium chloride, and magnesium react with chlorine and gives magnesium chloride. And all these salts or chlorides are ionic compounds. So NaCl, CaCl2 and MgCl2 are ionic solids. They contains only ions even in solid state. For example, sodium chloride, we can write sodium chloride as Na plus Cl minus. So sodium has positive charge and chlorine has negative charge, so they are ionic compounds. Same, calcium chloride is also an ionic compound. We can write it as Cl minus, Ca2 plus and Cl minus. So metals react with non-metals and form ionic compounds. Before discussing about the ionic compound, we should know about what is ion and how ion form. So ions, we can see that ions, positive or negative charge atoms are known as ions. If an atom has positive and negative charge, we called it as ions. Ions are formed because of loss or gain of electrons. Atoms form ions obtained by the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas. Atoms form ions because they want to be in stable state or nearly in the state of nearest noble gas. We have learned about octet rule. So atoms lose or gain electrons so they can get in stable or in nearest noble gas state. Like we can see that sodium, which has atomic number 11 and has 11 electrons, and the configuration of sodium is 281. So if sodium lose one electron, the electronic configuration will be 2,8, which is stable than earlier. So ion forms because of loss or gain of electrons. Same, chlorine, which has 7 electrons in their valence shell, in outermost shell, and it needs 1 electron so that the outermost shell get 8 electrons and obey octet rule. So it gains 1 electron, and if it gains 1 electron, the charge on chlorine is negative. So we can see positive ion. A positive ion is formed because of loss of electrons by an atom. Example, sodium forms sodium ion because of the loss of one electron. Because of the loss of an electron, one positive charge comes over sodium. So sodium, it lose one electron and becomes positive ion. Same, magnesium form positive ion because of the loss of two electrons, and two positive charges come over magnesium because of loss of two electrons. We can see that Mg, when it loses two electrons, it becomes Mg2+. Negative ions. A negative ion is formed because of the gain of an electron. For example, chlorine gain one electron in order to achieve a stable configuration, and after the gain of one electron, chlorine gets one negative charge over it, forming chlorine ion. We can see that when chlorine gain one electrons, it becomes chlorine negative ion. Ionic bonds. Ionic bonds are formed because of transfer of electrons from metal to non-metal. For example, when sodium and chlorine react with each other, then an electron transfer from sodium to the chlorine and form sodium chloride, which is an ionic compound, and the bond formation between them is ionic bonds. In this course, metal gets positive charge because it loses electron because of transfer of electrons, and non-metal gets negative charge because of acceptance of electrons. We can see metals transfer electrons to non-metals and becomes metal positive and non-metal negative. In other words, bond formed between positive and negative ion is called ionic bond. Since a compound is electrically neutral, so to form an ionic compound, negative and positive both ion must be combined. So here we are discussing the formation of sodium chloride. So we can write sodium and chlorine. Sodium, which has atomic number 11, chlorine, which has atomic number 17. The electronic configuration for sodium is 281 and for chlorine is 287. And valence electron in sodium is 1, and valence electron, that means electrons in outermost cell, in chlorine is 7. So for the stable configuration, sodium lose one electron, and for the stable configuration, chlorine gets one electron. So sodium transfer its one electron to chlorine and they form a ionic compound. Sodium has one valence electron and chlorine has 7 valence electrons. Sodium requires losing one electron to obtain stable configuration, and chlorine requires gaining one electron in order to obtain stable configuration. Thus, in order to obtain stable configuration, sodium transfers one electron to chlorine. When sodium and chlorine react together, sodium gives one electron to chlorine atom. As sodium loses one electron, it forms the cation, which is Na positive, and chlorine atoms gain one electron and it forms anion. Cation has positive charge and anion has negative charge, and they form ionic compound, which is called sodium chloride. We can see the reaction. Sodium, which has 1 electron in valence cell, chlorine, which has 7 electrons in valence cell. So sodium transfer its electron to chlorine and forms sodium chloride, which is Na plus Cl minus. In similar way, potassium chloride KCl is formed. So here are some other examples. Formation of magnesium oxide. So magnesium has 2 electrons in their valence cell and oxygen has 6 electrons. So for the stable configuration, magnesium transfer its 2 electrons to magnesium and they form MgO, where Mg has 2 positive charge, okay, and oxygen has 2 negative charge. Formation of calcium oxide, CaO. Same, calcium transfer its 2 electrons to oxygen and forms CO. Formation of sodium oxide Na2O. In this we have two sodium atoms and each have one valence electron in their outermost shell. So they transfer their electrons to oxygen and oxygen get two electrons from two sodium atoms and form Na2O. Now we will discuss properties of ionic compounds. So properties of ionic compounds. First property is physical state. The ionic compounds are generally solids. They are hard and brittle. Solubility in water. Ionic compounds are generally soluble in water, but ionic compounds are insoluble in organic solvents such as benzene, petrol and diesel, etc. Melting and boiling point. Because ionic compounds form ionic bonds between them and which is strong bond, so the melting and boiling point of ionic compounds is generally high because of high force of attraction between ions. Ionic compounds conduct electricity in molten state and aqueous solutions. Ionic compounds are they are conductors. They can conduct electricity in ionic states. Colors to flame. Ionic compounds impart color when heated in a flame. NaCl imparts golden yellow, KCl imparts violet, whereas BaCl2, barium chloride, imparts apple green color to flame. ठीक है, बेरिलियम क्लोराइड. Now we will discuss metal oxides. We have discussed in the properties of chemical properties of metals. When metals react with oxygen, they form metal oxides. And what is the nature of metal oxide? We will discuss now. The metal oxides are basic in nature. The aqueous solution of metal oxide turns red litmus blue. Reaction of metal oxide with water. Most of metal oxide are insoluble in water. Alkali metal oxides are soluble in water, and alkali metal oxide gives strong base when dissolved in water. So we can see some examples. Reaction of sodium oxide with water. So sodium oxide, which is a alkali metals, when dissolved in water, it forms sodium hydroxide NaOH. Reaction of potassium hydroxide with water. Potassium hydroxide, when react with water, it gives potassium hydroxide. Reaction of zinc oxide and aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide and zinc oxide are insoluble in water. Aluminum oxide and zinc oxide are amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric substances are those substances which shows both nature, acidic and basic characteristics. For example, they react with base like a acid and they react with acid like a base. We can see it reacts with base like a acid and reacts with acid like a base. So we can see zinc oxide reacts with sodium hydroxide, which is a base. Sodium hydroxide is a base, so zinc oxide behaves like a acid and it forms sodium zincate. Zinc oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid is an acid, so zinc oxide behaves like a base and it forms zinc chloride ZnCl2. Similarly, aluminum oxide reacts with NaOH, which is base, so aluminum oxide will behave as a acid and react with, if aluminum oxide react with HCl, which is acid, so it will behave like a base. So we can see the reaction. In this reaction it is base, so it will behave like a acid and it forms sodium aluminate, and in this case it will behaves like a base and reacts with HCl, which is acid, and form aluminium chloride.